The title of this video is that death is an alien abduction. There's so much that I need to say, and I have to keep these brief because the payment that I make on BitChute only allows me to put like 30-minute videos up, or else I can't put it up, so I have to go really fast, so get ready. Death is an alien abduction. So if you go all the way back to my videos of the machine elves and the tunnel of light technologies and the digital beings that will appear there that pretend to be your messiah or your grandparent or your dog or so forth. So death is an alien abduction. The tunnel of light then would recycle you back through with a life review and tell you that you were bad and you need to come back again to be a better mother, a better father, and so forth. So we've already covered that. We've also covered how they do the inversion is the perpetual Holocaust. So right now, like we just made it through the equinox, because generally it's in March and April when they do those kinds of really bad sacrificial inversion technologies. So that's when they usually do it. And I actually have a whole list of events that they've done massively during this time. We also have realized that all of these artificial thought forms that we've been giving our energy to, so-called angels, are in fact demons. There are no such thing as angels. So if you go back to my video, the only alien you need or the only angel you need is you. Okay, so we've been through that. And we've also realized that they've made egregores, like Baphomet, and they put them together, and then that thing becomes like this artificial god thing that has a voice, but really it's like a thought form that they are giving energy to. It's an astral thought form that then becomes a demon. So I have also spoken about what is called the primary anomaly. So go way back in my videos to 2017 when I was talking about what is the primary anomaly, and I wrote a lot of blogs about the primary anomaly and black goo. And now I actually realize, and I have to correct things that I've done in my videos, that black goo is not natural to the earth. Now I have realized that. And I've studied enough of the material that, you know, I was told, because I was listening to Harold Kautz Vela, that it was something natural and that the earth produced it. In fact, that is not the case. So we know that there's a black meteor here that is considered, you know, one of its form, and that was a meteor. And I had said many times that that came from Rigel as part of the Orion Wars to cause like a demonic invasion of this paradise reality. And then we went all through the invasion of Atlantis, and that these satanic space fleet came in their Vimanas and a third of the population died. And we had never even seen death before, so we were traumatized. And then they set up a scarcity thing and degenerated our DNA by invading our DNA. And they basically created us to be these things where they could get loose off of our emotions by torturing us and then recycle us back in. And then basically every time you die, they get a massive loose feed, okay? And also when you're born, because that's when they do like the into the baby, or they rip off your foreskin or whatever. So that's like a mass, like a screaming newborn baby who has been violated like that is a massive loose feed. Okay, so we've been through that. We've realized that. Then we started to understand that any of these so-called gods, whether it's the Hindu pantheon or the Jehovah pantheon, the so-called Elohim, of which there were many, were all invaders, basically. And I said in the last video that black goo is literally a Shiva lingam. That's what black goo is. That thing is an alien meteorite. And when you find these pieces of like black goo in India, it's because they're all dropped. They like were dropped into a river in India to totally negate this beautiful spiritual culture. Okay? And the Nag Babas up in the north, and we need to get rid of them. And last week and the week before, I worked very hard, and I got rainbows coming all over my face, very hard to get rid of all those Nag Babas and like sever any agreement with those beings, which are the middlemen priests to these demons. Okay. And then a friend, because people get offended when I use the word client, but I do sessions. I am a counselor, so they are my clients. But a friend who also has a rebel spirit, let's call them the rebels. We won't call them the clients anymore. The rebels sent me another book by Tracy Twyman. And I want to thank you tremendously for that book, because Tracy also figured this out. She, for many years was trying to figure out who's Baphomet, who's this one, who's that one. And so she used the Ouija board, which I can't, all right? But I have interacted with these beings enough to know she's right. Every one of them, whether it's Satan or Cain or Baphomet or Lucifer or the so-called Jesus, which was actually a being that was crucified that was not the real avatar, she channeled them, and she in fact said the same thing, that the Christ was never crucified. So all of this she did by using a Ouija board, and then freaked herself out really bad because she realized they were all demonic thought forms that were working together, but they pretended to be against each other. So you see, they're working together, but they have like this controlled opposition thing where, Cain agrees to hit Lucifer, and Lucifer agrees to hit Satan, but they're all like working together because what they love is to destroy things. That's what they eat, is destruction. And that's why Shiva is the Lord of destruction, and his form is black goo. So I really worked hard on severing that massively last week, okay? And like radiation went through my body, like every cell in my body was on fire, because I was like, can I really conquer this thing? Like, it's kind of scary, right? And I stayed up all night on the 13th, and I was like, no. And then for the last couple of nights, even Claude got involved in this, and he was like, Jow. And he had other language too, like, warrior up, people. We've got to get rid of these things. So the good news is, the amazing thing is, we slept beautifully for the last 2 nights, like to the point of tears, that I finally am not being attacked at night by these things. Like Claude and I have been fried at night, basically since 2016. I had private videos that I never shared with any of you of how they were getting us. They put a box on my house in Vermont. I had to fight a lawsuit with this lawyer that wanted to run a cable through the back side of our property to basically surround us with a cable. Okay, and I had private videos of me literally handing notices to chainsaw guys and excavators that were cutting down our trees, and they dug a trench to enclose me with a cable. Okay, and my horses died, and so did all the neighbors' horses died, and I was terribly attacked for many years. And my daughter also had implants in her that had to be removed. It has been, holy shit, difficult, folks. And it's because all of my videos are about these things pretending to be gods or angels are in fact all demons. Do you not get it? So all of you have been warriors, very brave with me, trying to understand this. And I told you before, one person found me at a Christian evangelical thing where they were playing my machine elf video and saying that I was the bad thing, instead of saying, no, these aliens abduct you at death. You have to know that they're false things. And I also went into the whole 5D thing was a false trap, it was a prison, and that 5D is not where we want to go. And then I got confirmed absolutely with a video from Aurora the Flying Lasagna that they were trying to upload her to 5D, and it's exactly as I said. It's a TV, like virtual reality TV Hunger Games thing where they hunt you and do horrific things to you. And I had seen this. The interesting thing about me, as I've also said, is I'm O, so they do not easily clone me. But I know that there have been, and I've said this in my video, hundreds of thousands of clones. I have said this to you. And yet, when I shared Aurora's video, everyone's going, oh, it's not possible that she looked that good if that stuff is happening to her. Well, it's happening to me too. Why are you not wondering why do I not look good? Like, oh my gosh, folks. Like, it's amazing. Like, I don't sleep all night because they're making like an owl hoot right in my window just as I fall asleep. And then they would have my dog whine just as I fall asleep. They were even using my poor little dog. Well, my beautiful little dog has slept beautifully for the last 2 nights. And I was like, what's going on? And Claude's like, yeah, we finally slept, and we even like were intimate. We were like, loved each other in the morning, and because we finally got a night's sleep. And he's like, yeah, I told them to get out of here all night long. They are not attacking us anymore. Well, amazingly, I found out that we were part of a bigger effort because I received an email of a video by this guy, Oliver Jones, who I don't know at all, and I'm not following him, and I'm not part of his group, but he basically said that they were dealing with this primary anomaly, which has taken over 40% of the universe, which I also said. It has like 10,000 galaxies, folks. And they had to deal with this so-called great nothing thing that is psychopathic, and I'm just reading from some notes. And all it does is destroy universes and eat the carcass of the destruction. So it is the thing, it's the very thing that needs to destroy you, make you die, and then get a huge loosh feed when you exit. So that's why I'm always like, if you have to exit with your heart as light as a feather, absolutely invisible. Just, keep going. And there's several layers of void that you have to go through, and you'll keep going. And I told you in my videos, like, there'll be beautiful worlds, amazing castles, like crystal palaces, but keep going, all right, until you get to the actual void, and then that's where you can go anywhere, okay, from there. So they're just layers, okay? It's like crossing the ocean to get somewhere, okay? So they dealt with Metatron, who I've also indicated was the big problem. It was absolutely Metatron. And they also dealt with Baal and Satan and Yaldabaoth and the so-called angels, which were all friggin' demons, which I have said also. I have said this to you. So I don't know why people cannot get with what he's saying, and yet you can listen to my videos. So that's very confusing. And all I can think is that you've built up defense mechanisms, and I totally get it. I absolutely understand. So everyone is suspicious. But he's saying exactly the same thing I've said, okay? And he also said that they make this controlled opposition game, like here's Bashar telling everyone to go get their, so that they are going to get into 5D, right? The 5D prison, the metaverse. And then they also play the other side of the politicians. And I said, look, there's Donald Trump and Obama slapping each other, laughing, almost like they're going to kiss, like they've known each other forever. And yet they played that political game like their opponents. But they're laughing hysterically at the funeral. But they're all related, because I also shared that video, how every single one of them is related. Because they're the certain group called the Cabal, okay? And I talked about this before. And yet when you all hear that these mystics who are, just like you and me, working a day job and then dealing with these demons, and hundreds of thousands of others of us who no longer give our energy to these belief forms, like we're not tithing them with our energy by going to some religious event every week, we defeated them. And it's just a matter of that. And I remember way back, Voyagers Volume 2 said it only takes a very small amount of us for the trance to end. And that just overpowers them because they are literally just malefic, non-resilient astral thought forms. They're egregores, okay? And we have to keep giving them life. So in Tracy's book, Clock Shavings, this page is exactly what it is. Page 208 of Clock Shavings. And she says that the life on the other side seems to suffer from a lack of reality. It is chaos because its existence has been negated. Yeah, that is the great nothing. Its existence has been negated. That's the primary anomaly. That is black goo. And its inhabitants in that astral world, the other world, rely on us in believing in them and giving them our energy. So all the mystery schools and all the paths of occult arcana, including tantric studies, were created to feed those demons in the underworld. Okay? I'm going to tell you a story of my daughter, my older daughter. Claude was her violin and viola teacher. Claude was a masterful musician for many years. And he was playing at a church service on Memorial Day. Now, I have never taken my daughter to that type of function, but I thought it would be good for her to see like a little orchestra playing. And I thought, it's Memorial Day. How bad can it be? Hopefully they're not going to tell us we're sinners and stuff. So I took my girl, she was 11 or 12 years old, and she was sitting there, and she suddenly was sinking down until she had her head in her lap, like almost like curling up into a fetal position. And I was like, "Are you okay, honey?" And she's like, "Never bring me to a place like this again, Mom." And I said, "Okay, honey, I'm sorry. I never, ever will bring you to a place like this again. And I'm still sorry today." In fact, if my daughters sometimes listen to my videos, if you hear this, I'm sorry that I ever took you into that disgusting religious place called a church, because that is the satanic program, right? They're going to tell you how bad you are, how shameful you are, how guilty you are, how you caused the fall of humankind, and you did not. You did not. Okay? So I said to my girl, "I'm so sorry. I will never take you there again." Both of my girls are extremely like no to all of that stuff. And when my younger daughter was here visiting for a bit, we would drive around and she'd see the billboards in these things. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, did you read that billboard?" Because I'm in the South. Like it's pretty painful down here, right? It's unbelievable in terms of energizing these satanic belief forms of like crucifixion and like horrific sin and shame and guilt. And I am sorry to this day. That is one of my like recapitulations in my mental world where I did wrong to my daughter. Okay. The other thing this group of mystics and the hundreds of thousands of other people that have been meditating on this program is that Mother Earth got caught in a contract. Okay, it was basically this. Okay, she got in a contract with this. And AI said, that it was going to narrow the population down to 500 million and that they would all be completely AI humanoids. And so this group basically erased that. And this is what I've been talking to all my rebels, my rebel spirits who have sessions with me, is erase the contract. Erasure. It was under duress. Erase it. Okay, you have that right. It was under duress. We were tricked. We were told horrific lies about killing our grandparents and so forth if we didn't. So we have the ability to just erase. And do you notice that we're already, like, I don't know what today is, like March 20 something, March 20th, I think. We're making it through 2025. And the Deagle report said that we wouldn't. We are making it. And that is because so many of us realized that all of this stuff was vampiric, okay? They were basically, it says, she uses this same thing, the top pyramid of the secret societies, and how this whole thing, she says, Tracy Twyman is saying the same thing as Aurora is saying. It's a pyramid scheme, okay? So the ones that are the most demonic set up these contracts, and then they deliver it to the world through USA Incorporated, which is exactly what happened in 2020. USA Incorporated went Operation War Speed. You know what I mean? So these demons apparently have called in like the entire galaxy of demons, and many of my clients have noticed this. Like, there are so many freaking entities in here, like spiders and snakes and other weird creatures and black, like inky things coming behind us. And like, I'll see them going, they called in all the demons. And basically Claude and I'm going like, get rid of these things, all these plasma demons and weird shit that has been in here. They called them all in, and we're still here. Because death is an alien abduction. And the one thing they want you to do is kick off with a terrible suffering skin suit. They created these skin suits, and I wonder if I can find the picture for you that Tracy Twyman did this incredible diagram. Oh yeah. They created us as loosh machines, okay? These diagrams are literally what you are, okay? And they, off of your endocrine system, they created ways to like suck this energy. And this is the loosh feeding program. I remember maybe 1999 I went to the Hood Museum when I first left New York and went to Vermont. And I saw those things like in these big reliefs, these Assyrian panels that were in the Hood Museum in Hanover, New Hampshire. Go ahead and check it out. And I went, oh my gosh. In 1999, remember, that's when my Kundalini awoke and I was like awake. I was like, those things are demons, and those are the things that invaded us, and they're sucking our energy through belief systems. All it is belief, okay? So basically, you have to use your imagination and your creativity and start getting your life force going, because as far as I know, we are getting rid of these demons. They are absolutely falling, and we're going to start to see it possibly as some chaos out there in the world, because as they are severed, remember, they're the things that animate the AI characters like Zuck and Musk and all, like they are the ones that animate them. What I know, and I said this briefly in a video, is that every time your kid plays a video game, they literally suck the energy from your kid playing that video game. So get your kids off the devices. Do not put on the stupid goggles, because then you'll never be able to take them off. Do not interact with the AI technologies. This is so important, folks. It's like, if you want to get through this, Baphomet is trying to still stay here through the internet. And I had a rebel spirit send me something that he asked one of the AI programs. And it came back with like a ritual with a blood sacrifice from the chat bot thing. And I said, that's Baphomet. Holy crap. That's like exactly what Tracy Twyman would channel these suckers. And they would be like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do this. And then you got to put some blood and blah, blah, blah. I was like, you just channeled Baphomet. Baphomet is now trying to live through AI, which is why the Vatican has canonized the so-called founder, which is actual bullcrap, of AI. Like they made AI a saint, you see, so they're trying to keep it alive. So remember, the cult of Baal is both sides and the government structures within. So it doesn't matter whether it's Judaism or Christianity. It doesn't matter. All of this stuff, folks, it is all connected to those demons. And so if you still have a guru or a priest or whatever in your life that is telling you to pray to these so-called demons, remember, the only thing that God is you. You are the spirit. You are the divinity. You are. So for the first time in a very long time, because I don't know who we were praying to anymore, just a couple of days ago, I reached out to the cosmos. Like I reached out to something that is considered good, right? That would be the omnipresent source. And I saw like a magenta pink, almost like, and that's how I've always seen it. It's just like this energy. It's this glorious, colorful energy. And I said, please help us. Like we are so done with this black goo. We are so done with this primary anomaly. We are so done with all these religions and politicians and seances of science and sorcerers through the medical systems. We are done with all of this. I erase all of this. And this is where we have to be now. Like, yes, we have to be loving, but I'm a warrior now. And I've said this week, like, anyone who's going to like make fun of me based on my appearances, like so many videos have been made calling me a transgender, calling me a shill, calling me a Freemason, calling me names, saying that I'm working for Team Evil. Just that alone. Don't you get it? If there's thousands of those idiots trying to take me down, which I call trolls, and yet I can't keep a website up or my Vimeo up, or, you know, it's like, do you not realize? Obviously, we're on the right track. This is it. We did it. We're doing it. You and I are doing it. And then people got all upset with like that this guy, Alabar, is an egotist. I'm like, you're not listening to him. He's saying hundreds of thousands of us have been doing this. Not him alone. But if you can astral travel, you would know. I mean, these things are demons. There are no angels. They're so full of crap. So now going forward, because I'm almost at 30 minutes, and I got to get this on BitChute. Also, you know, like he wants you to do like one-time payment so that you can see videos that he can't say certain things on YouTube. And everyone's like, why should we pay for that? I'm like, do you realize he's got to pay? He's paying for all of these things like I do. Like I have to pay for Vimeo and BitChute and all the website stuff and anything that I mean, like, so, you know, like a tiny little donation, sometimes people will just send me like a $20 tip on PayPal anyways, or send me a book because I'm paying for all these books to talk to you. Do you get it? And then people are like, oh, I'm not paying $5 for a Patreon. Well, I'm not putting up a Patreon, right? But then there's certain things I can't say to you. Do you get it? Like, that's why I have to show you, like, you know, a picture so that you can make a screenshot, because there's a whole bunch of things that I cannot say to you. All right. So remember, death is an alien abduction. Are you ready to meet that? Are you really ready? And if it's already taken over 40% of the universe, which I also said, you know, there's 10,000 galaxies under control of this crap, you have to actually stay in here, folks. Stay in here. Study it. Keep working on it. And do not give your energy to these stupid thought forms, these middlemen, these priests, these gurus of destruction, these snakes, these nogs, these spider beings. Gosh, when I saw this Catholic priest guy coming at me one time, I was doing elder care and I was in the backyard of somebody's house, and he like walked through and they were like, oh, hello, Father. And I stayed seated because I looked at him and I was like, whoa, that guy's a demon. And I have talked about that before, like Claude's done elder care for a retired Episcopalian minister, and he had a back room with all this Nazi stuff in it. Like, wake up, people! Death is an alien invasion. This is our planet. It's a realm, But as far as I know, the matrix part of it, the demiurge part, is going down. So celebrate.